You've been imagining your future over and over. You close your eyes, feel the emotions, and picture who you want to be. But then, reality doesn't really change. Sometimes you catch a brief glimpse of what could be, a small shift, a little sign. But before you know it, you're back in the same old patterns, stuck in familiar routines and situations. If you've ever wondered why your visions seem so strong yet don't seem to come to life, here's the truth. It's not just about mental pictures. It's all about your energetic frequency. There's a big difference between dreaming of tomorrow and actually sending out that energy. It's one thing to visualize what you want, and another to truly become the person who lives that life in the quantum space. Visualization is just a small part of a much bigger picture. The real key, the missing piece, is your vibrational state. When that vibrational state doesn't match the reality you want, it stays out of reach no matter how clearly you envision it. You've been told to ask, to trust, to accept. But here's the real deal. The quantum field doesn't respond to your pleas. It reacts to alignment, to genuine energy, to the vibe you express. Not the energy you show during meditation, but the frequency you carry in your daily life, in your breath, choices, and emotions. Because the universe isn't listening to your words, it's tuning into your true essence. That's the core truth. When you truly understand this, when you see how subtle this shift can be, everything starts to change. Not because you're trying harder or thinking positively, but because you stop chasing after it. You stop pleading, stop believing your dream life is far away. Instead, you realize it's an energetic state you can access right now. This state is what opens the door to the reality you've been visualizing. It's not just an idea. It's real and vibrant, filled with a unique quality, unshakable confidence, and effortless flow. It doesn't rush, doesn't crave, doesn't question timing. It just knows. Because when you act as though you've already brought your desires to life, the quantum field responds in kind. You might wonder why transforming can feel so tough. You can easily picture something amazing, yet it's a struggle to feel like it's already yours. That's because your past has trained you to stay in the mindset of someday. You've been taught to wait, to prove your worth, to get ready before you can truly claim your place. Now, for maybe the first time, you're invited to let all that go and step into what once seemed like an impossible dream. At first, it feels strange. It might even feel like you're lying to yourself. But that's just your nervous system not catching up with your deeper truth. This frequency we're tapping into, it's not new to your essence. It's just unfamiliar in your physical experience. Part of this journey is getting your body to recognize the truth your spirit has always known. You're not chasing your destiny, you're rediscovering your natural link to it. You might ask, how do I stay on this frequency when nothing outside has changed yet? The answer is simple. You start the change yourself. You choose for your energy to lead the way, and the physical evidence will follow. Shift your focus from what's missing to what's present, from what you want to who you really are. As you make this a daily habit, a new energy starts to settle in, one that stands strong against stress, one that doesn't fade when things get tough. That's your new normal. That's when the quantum field begins to move in your favor. Not because you demanded it, but because you finally matched its vibe. In this exploration, we're not just talking about manifestation. We'll dig into the specific frequency that opens the door to the life you've been dreaming of. We'll cover how to shift from a feeling of scarcity to one of fulfillment, how to embody your dreams without pretending, how to live as if everything is already yours, not to impress the universe, but because you're finally in sync with universal principles. There's a formula, a unique energetic pattern. Once you learn how to tune into it, everything around you starts to respond, naturally, powerfully, and reliably. Are you ready to remember what it feels like to align with the reality you've always envisioned? Let's dive in. Here's something important to understand. The quantum field isn't interested in your wishes. It simply reflects who you are. It doesn't look at your vision boards or assess your goals. Instead, it mirrors the frequency you're sending out. And that frequency doesn't come from what you want. It comes from how you see yourself. Not the persona you talk about, but the version of you that shows up every day. The way you move into spaces, handle silence, or act when no one's watching, that's what matters. In the quantum world, Reality isn't something you grab hold of. It's something you create from within. Let's make this practical. If you think about money but live in a mindset of anxiety around spending, guess what? The field picks up that anxiety. If you dream of love but push away compliments or shy away from closeness, the field senses that withdrawal. You may picture growth, but if you talk about your situation like you're stuck, the field sees that too. It's not analyzing your dreams, it's measuring your inner consistency. That's why many folks feel let down on their manifestation journey. They've got all the techniques down, meditation, journaling, scripting, visualizing, but they still don't see results. Why? Because their thoughts and feelings don't match up. They're trying to manifest with their minds, while their bodies scream fear and anxiety. The result? Mixed messages, and the quantum field reflects that confusion. If this sounds familiar and you're ready to break these cycles, hit like and subscribe for more insights that actually make a difference. Here's where the real change happens, when your thoughts, feelings, and actions all send the same signal. That's what we call coherence. In this state, your frequency becomes steady, strong, and magnetic. Then reality starts to shift. Think about it this way. Wanting without aligning your identity leads to chaos. But when your identity meets your desires, your message becomes crystal clear. The field doesn't react to wanting, it responds to knowing. So how do we tap into that knowing, especially when we're not seeking external validation? You have to create that validation within yourself. Start acting like the version of you who already lives in the reality you're aiming for. You stop waiting for that feeling of accomplishment. Instead, you start moving and acting like someone who has already achieved it. It's not about pretending. It's about reconnecting with your true self underneath all the uncertainty. Neville Goddard called this living from the wish fulfilled. Joe Dispenza talks about creating new pathways in your mind and body. Greg Braden mentions heart-brain coherence. But the main idea is always the same. You shift from trying to become someone to simply being that person. That's the quantum frequency we're diving into. It's not something you chase. It's a choice you make over and over until your nervous system adjusts. You keep at it until your inner voice stops doubting you. Eventually, it becomes so automatic that you can't even remember what it felt like to vibrate in limitation. Yes, it takes courage because stepping into that version of yourself before life catches up can feel lonely or confusing, maybe even a bit fake at first. But that's just your old self trying to hold on. Acknowledge it, but don't let it control you. You're the signal now. You're the one who sparks change, not just someone who receives it. You get to be the reality. This isn't about faking confidence. It's about tapping into the frequency of already being that person. It's about training your system to feel secure in what's enough. Because when your subconscious feels safe, your energy grows. And as your energy expands, the world around you responds. So if you've been struggling or pushing too hard, let that go. You're not meant to work harder for your dreams. You need to see that the version of you who already lives them isn't far away. They're just operating on a different frequency, one that's more stable and real. That version knows how to move, speak, choose, and feel complete because from their perspective, they already are. Let's dive into a concept that many misunderstand: embodying as if without pretending. These three words often get oversimplified or mocked because they seem like acting, like putting on a mask and hoping everything will just fall into place. But really, it's so much deeper than that. Living as if isn't just pretending. It's about tuning into a different frequency. When you embody the feeling that what you desire is already yours, you're matching your physical self with that intention, even before the world acknowledges it. You're not waiting for signs. You're creating those signs. This sends a strong, clear message to the universe. I'm ready for this. It's not easy. Your environment might still reflect your old self. You might still see money issues or old relationships that don't support you anymore. But you need to act from this new frequency anyway. Why? Because that's how energy turns into reality, not by waiting, but by shifting your identity. Start small. You don't have to flip your whole life upside down. You just need to change how you go through it, how you talk about yourself, how you carry yourself, how you respond to good things happening. Do you fully embrace those moments, or do you second guess them? Every little choice shows the universe what you believe you deserve. Imagine if you were already living your best life. How would you start your day? What would you wear, even if no one would see? How would you breathe, take care of yourself, move, and express your feelings? This isn't just about looks, it's about your energy. Would you still shrink in certain spaces? Would you apologize for being real? Would you ignore what you feel inside just to keep the peace? Or would you start making choices as someone who fully trusts themselves? As someone who does not need to chase after what they want because they've already become the person who has it? When you change your energy, everything around you starts to shift too. That's why this is called quantum transformation. Your choices, no matter how small, send out ripples that affect more than you can see. So, instead of asking, "When will this happen?" try asking yourself, "How would I act today if I knew it was already happening?" This is where your actions transform from mere responses into something magnetic. When your words, energy, and presence align with the reality you envision, you're no longer just trying to pull something to you. You're simply being the version of yourself that's already in sync with it. Here's the thing most folks miss about this process of becoming your best self. It's not about being perfect. It's about sticking with it. Your nervous system has been running the same old programs for a long time, maybe even decades. It's used to feeling limited, struggling, and thinking there's never enough. So, when you start sending out a new signal, your body might push back at first. Don't take this as failure. It's just your system recalibrating. Think of it like tuning a radio. When you're between stations, you get that annoying static. But that static isn't proof that a clear station isn't out there. It's actually a sign that you're on your way to finding it. Your journey of manifestation works just like this. Those moments of doubt, or when you slip back into that old mindset of not having enough, that's just part of tuning. Here's where the magic happens: frequency anchoring. Each time you catch yourself falling back into familiar patterns, you hit a choice point. Instead of getting down on yourself, just shift your focus. Ask yourself, what would the version of me who already has what I want be thinking right now? How would they feel? What would they do next? Then, go ahead and make that choice, just for the next 5 minutes if you need to. These little shifts are really powerful. They train your brain to lean toward that new frequency. Neuroscience tells us that our brains keep rewiring based on what we think and do repeatedly. Each time you pick the high road instead of the old path, you're building fresh neural connections that support the reality you want to create. But there's more to this: connecting it to quantum physics. When you continually choose thoughts and actions that align with what you want, you're not just rewiring your brain, you're also affecting your electromagnetic field. Your heart has an electromagnetic field that's way stronger than your brain's, up to 60 times more powerful, and it can be felt several feet away from you. When your heart and brain sync up in harmony, that field becomes supercharged. Research from the HeartMath Institute shows that in a state of heart coherence, when your feelings match your higher thoughts, you can actually influence the quantum field around you. You become what they call a coherent emitter. So, you're not just daydreaming about what you want, you're actively shaping it. You're sending out signals through your whole electromagnetic system. And here's the amazing part: you'll start to notice the field reacting. People will treat you differently. New insights can pop up. Synchronicities will show up, not because the universe has suddenly picked you, but because your signal got strong enough to cut through the noise. You stopped leaking energy into the past and started really living in the present. This is what coherence looks like. This is the real way manifestation works. It's not about begging, writing scripts, or trying harder. It's about becoming the signal that your future self is already sending out. Sure, your mind will chime in. It might say, "But we don't have that yet." Or ask, "Aren't you worried this is unrealistic?" That's just your history trying to keep you stuck. Let those thoughts come and then keep moving ahead. This is about training your field to accept what your soul already knows. So today, speak one statement as if it's already true. Make a decision that reflects where you want to be. Take one action that feels like it's already yours. The more you act like it's yours, the more the field will accept you. And when the field welcomes you, reality starts to shift to match your signal. You'll go through phases where it feels like nothing is happening. You've done the inner work, steadied your energy, and stopped chasing after things. Yet big changes might not be visible. But deep down, you feel something has shifted. Your thoughts become more peaceful. You feel safer. You start noticing little changes in how you react. Then it happens. You see a number pop up repeatedly. 777. It's everywhere. Time, locations, screens, receipts. You might brush it off as coincidence, but part of you, the part that's more tuned in now, knows it's not. It's a message, a gentle nudge, a reflection of your energy. You weren't looking for a sign. That's exactly why it showed up. The field doesn't react to desperation. It responds to balance. And 777 shows up when your energy is aligned enough for the quantum to send a message back. It's not just saying your manifestation is on the way. It's confirming you're now an energetic match for what's always been there. The energy you've created around you is now resonating at the frequency of making things happen. In many mystical traditions, the number 7 is really special. It's tied to deep wisdom, intuition, and a sort of inner expertise. When you see it 3 times, it's not just about numbers anymore. It becomes a symbol of harmony. It's not about being perfect, but about being in sync. It shows that your thoughts, actions, and feelings are finally on the same team. You're not trying to create a reality from a place of feeling unworthy anymore. You're not just visualizing with your head while your heart is filled with doubt. You've found a rhythm. It might not be flawless, but it's steady enough to change your path. In the world of quantum science, the number 777 shows up when a wave of possibilities is about to shift. You're still in the space of limitless potential, but your energy is focused on one specific vision, the one you've been tuning into with your emotions and inner growth. The universe recognizes you not through words, but through your frequency. And this number isn't a trophy you win. It's more like a reflection of what you already are. Now here's something that might surprise you about these repeating numbers. They're not just chance occurrences or coincidences. They actually show something scientists call morphic resonance. This means when you hit a certain level of harmony, you start connecting with information that goes beyond our usual understanding of time and space. When you see 777 pop up a lot, you're experiencing what quantum scientists refer to as non-local correlation. Your mind and being are so in tune that you're directly linked to the quantum information that matches your desired reality. The number acts as a bridge between where you are now and where you're headed. But wait, it gets more interesting. Seeing 777 often aligns with what I call reality convergence points. These are moments when different timelines or possibilities come together. In quantum mechanics, we understand that every possible reality exists at the same time in what's known as the many worlds interpretation. When 777 appears, it's like you're nearing a convergence point where your consciousness is about to shift dramatically. Merge into the timeline that aligns with your consistent frequency. That's why the time right after you notice synchronicities is so important. Many folks see the signs and then let their guard down. They think that seeing 777 gives them the green light to stop their inner work. But really, it's a call to amp up your focus. You're on the edge. The wave is about to come together. This is when sticking to your frequency really counts. There's a concept in quantum physics called quantum tunneling. It's where particles sneak through barriers that, by normal rules, shouldn't be crossed. When you see 777, you're experiencing a kind of consciousness tunneling. Your awareness is gliding through the wall between where you are now and where you want to be. The trick is to keep your vibrational state steady during this process. You might find some pushback from your surroundings. Old habits might flare up before they fade away. Surprising challenges might pop up. This isn't the universe putting you to the test. It's the old structure of reality shifting to fit the new frequency you're stepping into. It's like doing renovations on a house while you're still living there. There's a bit of chaos, but it's all part of the change. Here's where most people miss the point. They think 777 means it's time to relax, pull back, and say it's all sorted now. But this moment isn't about taking a step back. It's about digging in deeper. It's a gateway. Your job isn't to celebrate too soon or go back to being passive. Your job is to keep the signal strong, stay in the flow, let the universe continue to sync with you without interruption. You might have heard that manifestations happen in an instant, but nothing in the quantum world is truly instant. What seems quick in the physical world built up slowly behind the scenes. 7 and 77 marks a turning point, balancing intention and certainty. It's when your reality isn't just approaching, it's forming around you. And 777 is more than just a sign of alignment. It's a prompt to connect more deeply. It's time to stop searching and start embodying. Pay attention to how your body feels right now. Ask yourself, is this how the version of me who lives that reality would feel? Would they rush? Would they doubt? Or would they trust what's forming beneath the surface? This marks a real shift. You're not just trying to bring something into your life, you're changing the essence of who you are. How you think, feel, move, speak, and choose is all getting rewired. The universe is responding to your new identity. That number you see? It's not guesswork about the future. It's a confirmation of what's already here. If you feel this, not just in your mind but in your energy, if something deep in you knows this message is right on time, then take a breath and let it sink in. Allow your nervous system to relax with this reassurance. Open your heart to the truth. You're not in the process of becoming aligned. You already are. The change isn't just on the way, it's here to stay. What you've been dreaming of isn't a distant goal. It's a frequency you've tapped into. If you want to turn this feeling into something real, not just for yourself but for everyone around you, drop a comment below with 777. It's not about magic, it's a way to say, I get it. Sometimes numbers are just numbers. Other times, they become a way to communicate, a reflection of truth you're starting to remember. Remember, manifestation isn't about grabbing what you want. It's about reconnecting with who you truly are. Every state you've been trying to reach, prosperity, peace, meaning, connection, is already within that remembrance. It's not outside of you waiting to be worked for. It's inside, just waiting to be stabilized. The truth is you've been there before. You've had those moments when time stood still and peace washed over you for no clear reason. Times when your heart opened up or the right words just flowed. Those weren't just flukes. They were glimpses of the person you're becoming and the life that person creates effortlessly. Quantum manifestation isn't about pushing to have those moments happen more often. It's about growing your ability to stay in those moments, to make them your baseline. It's about becoming someone who doesn't need to visualize because you're already in harmony with what you used to dream about. And that shift? It's already underway. You'll notice it right away. Life starts to respond in subtle ways. Conversations feel smoother. You find peace even when chaos surrounds you. Decisions come easily without endless second guessing. These signs show that your connection is solid. You're no longer just reaching, you're part of it. You're sending out a frequency that leaves your past behind. This is important because your old self will still have its say. It'll whisper doubts like, you're not ready, or who do you think you are? You need proof first. It'll try to pull you back into your old story. But every time you catch that voice, you face a choice. Do you replay the past, or do you hold on to the new story for just a bit longer? This is where it helps to grasp how identity works. Your identity isn't just what you think about yourself. It's a kind of energy that affects every part of you. When you've lived with a limited identity for a long time, your body's systems have tuned into that frequency. Your nervous system, hormones, and even your immune system have all adjusted to support who you were. So when you start to embrace a new identity, your body might push back. Psychologists call it upper limit problems, where success feels weird because it doesn't match your usual comfort zone. But guess what? That's a good sign. It means you're moving beyond what you know and creating new brain pathways. Here's the key. You don't have to wait until your body feels okay with the new you. In fact, if you do that, you might never change. Instead, get used to being uncomfortable. Understand that this temporary discomfort is just your body growing, leveling up to match a higher frequency. There's a practice I call identity bridging that can speed things up. Instead of jumping straight from where you are to where you want to be, create small in-between identities as steps along the way. For instance, if you're struggling financially but want to feel abundant, start by seeing yourself as someone who's learning to receive abundance. Being financially aware gives your nervous system time to adjust slowly. Each bridge identity holds its own thoughts, feelings, and actions. You practice these stepping stone identities until they feel like second nature. Then you move on to the next one. This approach helps avoid shocking your system, which can lead to self-sabotage. It makes the change feel more natural and lasting. What's fascinating is that this process reflects how quantum particles behave. In quantum mechanics, particles don't jump from one energy level to another in a straight path. Instead, they take quantum leaps through temporary virtual states. Your journey of transformation is similar. You navigate through these intermediate identities that connect who you've been to who you're becoming. That's where your true power lies, not in how aggressively you act or how fast you move, but in how consistently you can remain in the energy of already having it. Not to impress anyone or manipulate circumstances, but because that's your true self now. You're not on the hunt for validation, you're becoming it. You're not just acting worthy, you're embodying worthiness. The universe doesn't need convincing, it simply reflects what you are. This is what genuine manifestation looks like, not forcing the world to bend to your wishes, but aligning your inner state so perfectly that the world mirrors you in every detail. It's not about controlling the material world, but about letting go of resistance. You've refined your signal and cleared the interference between your highest self and your current reality. When this happens, something unexpected happens: serenity. Not excitement or urgency, but a calmness. You realize you're no longer chasing after things. You're allowing, receiving, and witnessing your energy returning to you as relationships, opportunities, understanding, and grace. This state of serenity is a powerful catalyst for manifestation that many people miss. When you're in this peaceful place, your brain waves shift into what's called the alpha-theta bridge, a frequency range between 7 to 14 hertz, where your conscious and subconscious begin to align. In this state, your subconscious becomes highly receptive to new programming, and your conscious mind picks up on subtle signals from the quantum field. Serenity isn't just sitting back, it's about actively allowing things to unfold, and that takes real inner strength. In a world that thinks hard work equals rewards, it can feel weird to manifest from a place of calm. We're taught that we must push hard, strive, and force things to happen, but that's not how quantum manifestation works. Think about it like growing a garden. You plant your seeds and create the right conditions, then you let nature do its thing. You wouldn't dig up those seeds every single day to see how they're doing, right? You wouldn't try to make them grow faster either. You trust the process and keep nurturing that garden. Manifestation is just like that. You put out your intentions with your thoughts and feelings, maintain that energy through who you are and what you do, and then you let the universe bring it to life. This state of allowing is where you find true magic. When you stop clinging to specific outcomes, when you aren't frantically trying to control when and how things happen, that's when the universe can surprise you in the best ways. Sometimes what manifests is even better than what you originally dreamed up, because you weren't boxing in the universe with your specific expectations. Here's a cool twist. The less you cling to needing what you want, the faster it shows up. It's not that the universe is toying with you. It's that neediness comes from a place of lack, which contradicts what you want to create. When you can hold your desires lightly, with gratitude instead of desperation, you radiate the energy of already having it. That's a big change. The more you practice this, the more your nervous system learns it's okay to be here, that it can feel at home in this state. It's not about pretending life is perfect, but about making your inner peace less dependent on what's happening outside. You've become part of that energy, and it's learned to trust you too. So take a deep breath right now. Let this all sink in. Don't treat it like new info. Absorb it as wisdom you already know. Feel your energy settle into the understanding that you've already changed. You're not waiting for a quantum leap. You are the quantum shift. If you found something in this exploration resonating with you at just the right moment, it might be more than just a piece of content. Maybe it's a reflection of your growth, a sign that the frequency you've been dreaming of isn't just a concept, it's real, and you're starting to experience it. If that feels true for you, I encourage you to stick around and subscribe, not because you have to, but because it feels right. This isn't just a channel, it's a vibe. If you noticed a change in your breathing while taking this all in, congratulations, you're already tuning into it. We're not just here to consume, we're practicing new realities. We're not just soaking in information, we're bringing possibilities to life. We're not just learning, we're remembering who we are. And I'm really grateful you're here with us. Now here's the deeper truth. Many people struggle with quantum manifestation, even when they think they get it. This stems from a key aspect that most teachers overlook. There's a specific observer effect that can transform your reality once you get a handle on it. I'll explain exactly how that works in the next video.